There was a couple times where the guy paused and he was looking for something in his notes, and he was like, "Yeah, you can just take that out later." But then I got to listen back to the whole fucking thing. You know what I mean? And then it makes it what should be like a 20-minute process, an hour and a half process.
That's why I like the simulcast. Sorry, everybody, for if you're rejoining us here shortly, Clint.
We're doing this all for Clint.
Yeah, this is a Clint podcast for everybody that doesn't know Clint. He's a guy.
He's a good guy. Sold me my Xbox or my PlayStation for $100.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
so we had a little technical difficulties. We're back up online now. Everything should be going. Hopefully you guys are back to rewatching. And we'll start it up. This is give it to you for the introduction there, bro.
All right. All right, so welcome to the podcast, episode 4 of the Sidetracks podcast. Third time with JMO. With me today, Jason Mosley, Chef Ja.
What up? What up? I'll get that loud. Probably be a little hot pop.
Yeah, we don't want that. So today we're going to talk a little bit about Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones season premiere was last night. I'll probably pronounce this wrong. We're also going to talk about some stand-up specials again. Rory Scovel.
Scoville?
What was it? It was. What's the title of the podcast or of the special again?
I think try stand-up for the first time, if I'm not mistaken, but I probably am because I'm usually mistaken.
And that's again one of the new Netflix things from this year. And then Patrice O'Neal's Elephant in the Room is our classic this week from 2011.
See, I'm glad you got the numbers on it, because I'm just the guy that like I think we should do this, and then I'll go and watch it and think, but I don't do any of the
the research.
Yeah, of what year it came out and how many people probably were at the show and all that stuff.
Yeah, well, I don't have that. I don't.
You're the numbers guy.
Yeah, that's what I'm here for, right?
Oh, bam! There's Clint.
Boom.
Get a little.
He was on the other one, wondering where we went.
Yeah, sorry, Clint. We had a little bit of technical difficulties here, and we're back up.
So for those listening later on to the audio-only podcast, we do also live stream on JMO's PlayStation 4. It also goes up to YouTube, so there are some people watching us as we do this. Clint is our buddy that we worked with at a restaurant called Smoke, and Clint's a real good guy, and he watches us almost every week, I think, or every time we've done this, I think he's been watching.
Yeah, so I thought it was simulcast, but it's actually like a tricycle cast.
A tri-cast. We'll try anything.
Yeah.
So let's get started. So Game of Thrones last night. Give me your hot take on the episode. What'd you think?
It was really good, man. I mean, it was. I wouldn't say it was worth the wait. It was, but it wasn't, because I want it to be always Game of Thrones. I don't want to wait a week ever. I want it to be like my buddy when we were watching it, and he even said, he's like, they should just do it like fucking Netflix, and when the season comes out, give you all of it.
Yeah.
Give you all of it, and you can just binge it. Because as soon as the fucking first episode, you're like, it's like crack. You're like, I gotta watch the next one.
Well, yeah.
Or you want to watch the next one, and it fucking sucks because you're like that. The only thing I have to say, they gave away the fact that Arya was gonna be at first I thought it might have been a flashback, but then you could just see she's like, oh brother, they could have hid that a little bit better, that she was gonna kill everybody. It was pretty easily.
Yeah, I mean, I'll admit, I at first thought, well, what's going on? I'd watched the last 2 episodes
kind of
leading
catch
up.
Yeah,
because there are things I forgot. I'd forgotten that Arya even killed Walder Frey. It's been a year since
yeah,
I've
that's
seen
what I'm saying.
stuff,
That's why I want more Game of Thrones. I hate waiting.
And yeah, and that's kind of where we are as a culture too. I wanted to touch on that because of Netflix and
the
because
culture of now.
Yeah, give me it all now, and that's how I came to Game of Thrones. Actually, I got I still get DVDs from Netflix in the mail because I like weird stuff. Yeah, I like weird stuff.
That's crazy.
You can't always get the stuff. So
I used to love that, man. I used to watch a lot of old Pride videos that way.
Yeah, exactly. So
Japanese MMA.
There's a lot of stuff streaming out there, but there's a lot of stuff not streaming out there. Just like with the Patrice O'Neal special, you know what I mean? If you hadn't given it to me, which isn't great that we pirate the shit, but whatever, man. We are.
I've pirated it. I've had it forever.
That's not.
Don't you come for me, Lars from Metallica. I'll fucking beat the shit out of you.
But what I'm saying is, so when I came to Game of Thrones, I started with the DVD, and it was the same for me. I was like, I don't want to wait, so I just subscribed to HBO like after the first disc, and then I watched the first. I think it was 3 seasons at that point in about a 48-hour stretch.
Oh
like
God, yeah, you could easily.
I stayed
binge
up all
it.
night. I went straight through it, and
It's
that's
like
where we are
crack.
as a culture. That's what we want, and
Yeah.
that's how a lot of these. That's how a lot of these premiere television shows. People come to them now, like Breaking Bad. I know you don't like to talk about it, or you don't want to.
Well,
It's not your thing, but
I never could get into it. Everybody was just like, "Oh, watch Breaking Bad. It's so great," but I tried.
But the point is that a lot of people came to it through Netflix because they could just sit and watch it. And Game of
yeah.
Thrones and Breaking Bad are very much in that vein because right at the end of the episode you get a little breadcrumb that you just want to chase.
Yeah.
Always. Okay,
I could see people getting that way with Breaking Bad. It's not that it wasn't a bad show. It just never got to me like the way it got to a lot of people. You know what I mean?
Well, plus Family Guy told you to hate it, and you always listen to Family Guy.
Dude, I love Roadhouse because of that and other reasons.
So we won't. So you'll never watch that, and you'll never watch The Wire, which disturbs me as your friend. I feel like you should watch The Wire.
I'm sorry. I know there's that guy that has the fucked up face from damn it, Boardwalk Empire.
Oh yeah.
Chalky White.
He didn't have the fucked up face. Chalky didn't.
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah.
Well, he's got the scar. I thought you were talking about the
face.
guy that had the mask.
Oh no. He
From
really
Boardwalk.
has a fucked up face.
Okay, so now, so we're getting sidetracked here. No pun intended.
It's right there.
There it is.
Right there. Point up to the right side.
Sidetracks. There's already a sidetrack podcast, so that's why we're
Those
sidetracked.
cunts.
Yeah.
We're coming for you.
And I don't think they even use it anymore. It was one of those things
two.
where they did a couple episodes. And so anyway, let's get back to Game of Thrones.
They're
So,
pretending to be sidetracked.
so to me, this episode was a set the board type of episode. You get like the Arya thing was a fan service thing.
Yeah, she's getting her just revenge and going through all the people that wronged her family and everything. I just wish they would have hit it a little bit better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like revealed it like up towards the end. You knew as soon as like a couple seconds in, like, oh, this is Arya as Walter. You know what I mean? Like, I would have liked to had more mystique to it. You know what I mean? And then be like, oh shit, it's her. Like that's the kind of moment I was wanting for waiting so long. Like it was a cold open, but you knew what was happening the whole time.
And the cold open's a big deal because they've only done that a couple times.
Yeah, it was. I like that though. That was pretty sweet. And then the other, I forgot about it until just now. My other hatred of this episode is the fact that they had Ed fucking Sheeran in there.
I don't really care about that so much. I thought that was a great. I thought that was a great scene though because you finally, and this is something that happens a lot through the show. So we're led to believe that we're led to believe that the Lannisters are the ultimate bad guys. But now here we see Lannister soldiers, and we put a human face to them. You hear that the guy's got a wife. You hear that the guy shares the food with Arya.
Yeah, I could have thought that whole scene when it was leading up. I was like, that dude's just dumb-witted enough to be the last one left alive. You know what I mean? Out of this whole group, she's going to, like, gut Ed Sheeran, kill the other guy. Because the whole time, she's, like, doing the, like, Mission Impossible, like, I'm looking over here, he's got weapons over there, over here, over there. Like, okay, shit's about to go down. But this guy's like, oh, he's got a fucked up eye. He's like, oh, I got some food for you. And like, she's like, all right, he'll live.
Are you able to mute that?
Yeah.
Is that possible?
Bam.
Yeah. Boom. A little inside talk there for the audio-only listeners.
Mm-hmm. No squeakiness.
No, yeah, we don't need the
I could just do
the
this.
PlayStation squeaking at us. Is that why it's doing it?
Yeah, because I'm moving it with my head. It's a digital thing.
You're like fucking Neo or something. In this.
Dude, it's nice to have a virtual reality studio in your apartment.
So, and then we see Jon, and we see the beginnings of I guess Jon and...
Jon being powerful. The Jon Snow you want to see.
Except that he's being undermined by his sister.
Yeah, but he basically told her, bitch, this is my way. It's like, he basically laid it down flat. He's like, I'm not going to do this, and my fucking way is law. And, like, that was the last thing that said, and then she was just like, and then later she's all like, Joffrey was, well, he's like, oh, you think I'm fucking Joffrey? And she's like, no. It's like, shut the fuck up. That's what I would have been like, bitch.
But the reason we see that in so public from Sansa is it's the beginning of a fissure between the two.
Oh yeah, you're gonna see that even then where she said that she learned a lot from fucking Cersei. She's kind of got some intentions of wanting to be ruler without really saying it. I feel.
Well, I just think she's been in survival mode for so much of she began as this like dreamer. She wanted to be the queen. She wanted to be that. That's what she always kind of wanted. But then it became like uh, Survivor for Sansa. There was so long where she was just trying to live.
Yeah, they were trying to extinguish her flame on a weekly basis.
And it was interesting for her to say that she learned a lot from Cersei.
Yeah, that scene was. I took that as where that's where I feel like she's got her own little underlying thing. That and then the scene with like Littlefinger. She's definitely not like the needing protected anymore. She's definitely got a plan that she's not showing people, because she was just brushing off Littlefinger the whole time. And then, you know, when Bree came up to kind of like be the protector, she's like, you know, she's like, no use to even get the last word. I know it's going to be quippy. You know, she cuts him off, and then, you know, Bree tries to say something. She's like, yeah, I know what that fucker wants. He just wants to get some of that Littlefinger in there. Which he probably already has. Let's be real. You know what I mean? She kissed him at whatever that tower the Vale.
Oh, yeah.
And then, so she probably fucked him. Let's be honest.
Well, she didn't then, I don't think, because supposedly she was a virgin before she married Ramses.
Yeah, well, this was after the whole Ramsay thing.
Was it?
Yeah. She probably banged him too. Either that, or she gave him a little mouth service, or she gave him the little finger.
Also, Bran is finally south of the Wall again. Is that a good thing or a bad thing, or is he going to be able to? Are the Walkers going to be able to get past the wall?
Well, from watching the last Harpy YouTube videos and shit, he has a lot of crazy theories, and one of them that I saw that kind of made me think of something when I saw that is where the Night King had touched him in the last couple of seasons, you know, when he was like doing his little like vision. And I just feel like that may it gave the Night King the ability to get into that, you know, tree.
Right. So why is it going to? The wall was built with ancient spells and a lot of magic to keep things like that out.
Yeah, exactly. But now when he touched him, and then Bran goes over forward to the end of the episode towards the Hound and the Brothers Without Banners, and he's like looking to the fire, and you know he's obviously kind of fucking jaded and guarded about that because he'd been burned before. But he starts looking in there, and he says he sees a wall of ice, and he sees an army of dead moving past the fucking one last the
port.
Yeah, so like
castle.
Basically they're there. They're already going to be past the wall. If not, they're coming across it, and that you got to see fucking the White Walker giants. It's so sweet.
A couple of them, right? Yeah, that's crazy. And then bad news for Tormund. He's headed up to that castle that we're talking about. That so probably not long for this world with Tormund, which is unfortunate.
Well, here, he's not going to get the bang Bree. He's not going to get to see the big bird and the bushy man go at it.
Well, he is into it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, what's funny is you see the upshot of, like, the other two people talking, and you can kind of see them down, and, like, she's bent down, and he just, like...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's going to get some before it goes. But there's been a big leak of Season 7's plot points, and, like, one of them is that, like, they're going to go to Dragonstone because... Sam had found out.
Should we be doing spoilers? I don't think we should.
It's already out there. Spoiler alert. Sam obviously found out that Dragonstone has dragon glass underneath of it. He sent a raven to Jon Snow, and that will lead them to meeting Daenerys. And that was one of the big plot points, spoilers, that they said that they're all going to meet up at Dragonstone. Jon Snow's going to tell Daenerys about, you know, the White Walkers and all this shit. She's going to basically demand for them to bring one to show her because she don't believe him, which is fucking stupid. You got dragons. Why wouldn't you believe there's fucking White Walkers? So it's going to be like Jorah, Jon Snow, Tormund. I can't remember who else is going to be there. There's a couple other the Hound is going to be there, and they're all going to go to that east port.
Yeah.
And that's where they're going to try to capture a White Walker and bring it back alive. Big fucking battle.
A White Walker or a White?
I can't remember. I think it's
one of the dead.
Yeah, one of the others.
I can't imagine they're going to capture a White Walker.
Yeah, well, whatever. This is from what I was reading on the thing. And then, like, big battle. Jon Snow gets really fucking hurt, and then there comes in Benjen for, like, the last time to like save the day again, and then he basically, or either that or not. That's not it.
Okay.
I'm getting sidetracked myself.
Exactly. Let's get back to the episode.
Ice dragons.
So what's it mean that Bran is probably headed to Winterfell, and he is the rightful
Lord?
He's the yeah. I mean, isn't he the king of the North, or is it Jon? Will that affect Jon's reign as king of the North? Or
I mean, really,
something.
I would be like, Bran, he probably won't want to assume that title, considering that he knows he's the Green Seer and the Three-Eyed Raven and all the other names of whatever he wants to put in there and shit. You know what I mean?
Titles.
Yeah, exactly. He's getting paid for being a vice president of marketing and all sorts of other shit too. He probably won't want to assume that title of being the fucking Lord of Winterfell.
Well, here's what I thought was interesting about.
Plus, he's already Bran from every timeline. So
yeah, here's what I thought was interesting about that. When we see a shot of Winterfell, the Godwoods are prominently featured. I don't ever remember seeing.
No, I like that. I saw it, and it had its own little wall around it.
Yeah, it's like
that was pretty badass.
Like a big ass park. So I feel like that gives him a direct portal, and because a lot of those weirwood trees have been cut down south. The further south you get, the fewer there are. So Bran can't really go to a whole lot of places to be able to tap in. Now he was tapping into that just outside the wall, so obviously he's more powerful than the previous Three-Eyed Raven. So I don't know that he needs to be around the weirwoods, but
yeah, he could just plant himself into that weirwood like that old dude did before.
Yeah, exactly.
Or he could just start tapping that chick that's carrying his ass around. That's what I would do.
Euron Greyjoy. Last we heard from him, he was gonna bed Dany. Now he's moved.
He just wants to fuck a
Cersei.
queen.
Yeah,
he just wants to fuck a queen, and he's down to make Jaime feel like shit about it in the process.
Brutal.
Yeah, he's savaged about it.
I'm Team Jaime, man.
Yeah, I'm hoping he fucks his sister again too.
Nah, I'm hoping he's gonna strangle that bitch to death.
What's funny is like you've seen that old scene when Bree met Cersei. And she's like, "Do you love Jaime?" And she's like a brother.
What else? Or what else are we missing here?
There was a thing from the. Now this isn't really a spoiler, but if you go by shot through the season 7 trailer, it shows this horn and shit that is Euron Greyjoy's that he got on like his travels. And
is that the dragon?
That's the dragon.
The dragon.
The dragon horn that can control a dragon. So
Dany loses her dragons.
She might lose one, and
one's definitely going to die, right?
From what I've heard, one does die in the big battle. That's where I was getting confused. It's not Benjen that comes out; it's Dany in her dragon that comes out.
So wait, hold on. She's going to tell him, "I don't believe you. Go bring me proof," and then she's going to magically fucking show up.
Hey man, I'm not the guy.
1,000 miles north.
I'm not the guy that wrote the spoilers. Maybe they send a fucking quick ass Raven, and she's like, "Oh shit, gotta go." But she comes there. That Night King kills and takes control of one of the dragon, makes it into an ice dragon. So
yeah, that's pretty much a given that's going to happen. That's not a big spoiler.
That's going to be sweet.
So you think the horn is the gift that Euron's talking about?
Well, no, I think the gift is probably Tyrion.
How's he getting that? Tyrion is pretty well entrenched.
Oh, he's pretty well entrenched, but like that, I feel like would be the gift.
Oh, that would be the thing. That's the key to Cersei's heart.
I mean, the thing that you most desire, like that's right. I mean, and right now she's all about like vengeance and death, and she found out that he's the hand of Dany, and she's like, "Ooh, motherfucker," you know, like the dude that killed our father, blah 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 blah. Which like he was kind of a douche to that dude. And to be honest, Tyrion's probably a Targaryen too.
Yeah, another famous internet theory that
the 3 heads of the dragon of the Targaryen has 3 heads of a dragon: Jon Snow, Dany, Tyrion.
And plus
the Mad King raped or basically told Tywin, "Look, I'm going to fuck your wife because I'm the king," and he basically had to deal with it. And the bastard kid is Tyrion. He basically had to put up with it. That's why Tyrion's hair is not quite as blonde as Jaime and Cersei's. And like when he's killing him in the bathroom scene, you're no fucking son of mine was like one of the things he said.
Well, he says that throughout. There's one point
throughout,
too where he's
but that's like one of the more prominent things. Like, oh, my son shot me. You could say that, but no,
well,
he's like, no, you're no fucking son of mine.
If your kid kills you, you probably say that anyway. But there was a point earlier on where he says to Tyrion, where he says, "Because I can't prove that you're not my son."
Yeah,
that's a pretty big.
There's some things that
and plus the fact that so Danny, we end with what I think is a great scene. Probably not loved by a lot of people because it's just Danny posting up at a castle. Yeah, Dragonstone.
That's cool though, man.
And you see or what's her translator's name? Do you know off the top of your head? You see her stop Grey Worm. She's like, no, she's got to go in here first, and she's got to be the one that steps in first. But who's right behind her? Tyrion.
Yeah.
And he's in the great map room with her, two Targaryens. You see a shot where Danny's looking one way, and then the next shot is Tyrion. He's looking the same way. So you're seeing a lot of hints that.
Yeah, that and I just that'd be so cool, man. Like if you get to see.
Plus, all three of those characters, their mother died.
It'd just be badass if they're all like riding dragons, wiping out White Walkers and shit. And I even said it to my buddy when we were watching that episode last night. I was like, you need to see like White Walkers every fucking episode from now on in. Yeah. No matter what,
it's good that
if you're like walking through the scene, oh, I tripped and a White Walker fell out of a pouch, whether it's a little tiny midget White Walker, I don't give a fuck. I want to see a White Walker every episode, even if it's just like,
I want to see Ed Sheeran turn into a White Walker and sing another song.
Yeah, I'm in love with the icicle.
So yeah, I thought it was a good episode. It's basically set in the pieces, which is kind of disappointing because we only we have 12 more hours left in the entire series. So
no, wrong.
12 more episodes.
Yes.
So
now they said that. Now this is maybe confirmed, but I don't know. They said that next season they're going to do feature-length episodes, which means at least an hour and a half episodes. In my mind, that would be about the lowest fucking shortest amount of a feature-length film that you could put out.
You could get away with an hour 20, but
that's still fucking.
I think 90
shitty.
minutes is probably
which would be nice if they do 1 hour and a half episodes.
Still, though, you have so little time left. It kind of sucks to blow an hour on resetting the board. You know what I mean? Like, it kind of sucks to spend an hour putting things in their place and preparing things to happen rather than seeing things happen. Because there's so much to happen. There's so much
the big
left.
thing in Game of Thrones. It's a lot of setup and then, like, big payoffs, but still, like, lots of setup.
Yeah, I thought it was great. Happy to have it back for sure. It was great to see the countdown before the episode and
it sucks that it's going to be gone for maybe even more than a year.
Yeah, probably. I mean,
which is shitty, man. You know, it's so fucking small, but I understand because they're going to be filming longer episodes, but still, just like.
And they have to film winter scenes, which it's tough to find. They got to wait to start production later.
Fucking Antarctica. Plenty of fucking snow there.
All right, so we're going to move on now to our patented stand-up stuff. Rory Scovel. Scoville? I'll never get that right.
Shovel?
Rory Shovel? And Patrice O'Neill today. Which one do you want to start with?
I'll let you pick, since I picked last time.
We'll do the new one first. We'll go with Rory Scovel.
Shovel.
Don't fuck me up, man. I need your help. I need you to be a help and not a hindrance.
Shovel.
So how do you want to do this? Do you want to just do? I'll open the floor to you. What are your thoughts on this special? And
I feel like I should just repeat the word anal sex 20 times and then say fuck about 13 or 14.
He did that for 20 minutes. So.
Dude, which was good. He's like, this is the special. Like, the first, 20 minutes was really great of it. Like, I kind of like that he just, split the room. Like, there was a lot of dead silence in this. Some people laughing really hard. Some people, you couldn't see them not getting it. And then, some people getting it. And then some people just, am I supposed to get it? It was just funny to, look at the reactions in the room.
Yeah.
I definitely had... I liked it. It was different for a stand-up, you know.
it goes back to what we talked about with one of the Carlin things. I don't know if it's on the very first episode or that people can't hear, but there was a Carlin special where he talked about, he did this like little film noir, like he's a detective in the black and white.
Everybody's got to do it.
The first thing I thought of when it started was like, what is going on? Why are we seeing this? Why is
he's all like getting fucked up, which was like the persona from the Before movie was so like, I was like, damn, this dude's gonna be like off the top, and then he's like members only jacket, like crazy looking, and I was just like, okay, this is gonna be funny. I even wrote that down, 80s members only jacket, because that thing was pretty sweet.
So I'll say this about the audience reaction. So I recently, I guess it was the beginning of the year, or in April or something, my wife and I went to this thing called Bluegrass Underground, and it's a taping for a PBS show, right?
Yeah, I remember you was telling me about that.
And it's in a cave. You have 4 musicians each 3 days. We went down for 1 day, but the reason I bring it up, so as they're getting ready to start, like the production chick comes out. She's like, okay, guys, cameras are all around, stay in your seats once the music starts, this, that, and the other. But then she's like, so before we get started, what we're going to do is we're going to get some shots of the audience doing things that we want you to do. So on the count of 3, I want everyone to laugh, like a hearty belly laugh, like you just heard something really funny. And 1, 2, 3, and everybody laughs, and the camera zooms in on people laughing. And then she's like, okay, now I want you to, you're shocked. He just said something and you can't believe he said it or she said it. Like, show me an expression of shock. So then 3, 2, 1, and the crowd's like, oh, yeah, making faces and stuff.
That's so ridiculous.
So I gotta wonder if some of these. Now we'll talk about. I'll bring it back up in the Patrice O'Neal thing. Obviously, in that situation,
oh my God,
they're not zooming in on those specific people and telling them to do things like that.
So good.
But do you think that? But I just wonder if some of the cutaways to the people laughing weren't shot before he was even on stage talking.
I mean, it might have been. He did seem like it was more of like a setup performance in a way.
Yeah.
But still, like, it might have been like just natural there. You never know. I did like that Jack White break in the middle.
That was weird. I don't know if I like
so
that
crazy.
or not.
He's just like shitting on him in the middle of it. It's like, don't you know how to fucking do stand up?
Well, he was like, yeah, I don't have enough material, so I thought we would do a little skit, but then it wasn't a skit. The only thing they accomplished was making me think that Jack White's kind of a dickhead.
Yeah, he like hates it. Like, get out of my scene. Get out of my scene.
Which
he's
is funny.
smoking a clove cigarette, and I was just like, oh, come on, dude.
And actually, this was produced by Third Man Records.
Oh, really?
This is a Third Man film by Jack White. I believe that segment, because it was shot in Atlanta, which is where the stand-up was, and Nashville at Third Man Records, which is just Jack White's little record shop / production facility. And so it's weird. It's just weird. And plus, just looking at Jack White is pretty. He's just so pasty and tall. And
I wonder, does
looking.
he like?
Is that makeup?
I wondered if he like gets makeup, or he's just like, I have to always avoid sun.
Yeah.
Because, like, man, I could not be that fucking white, dude. Like, it's
right?
crazy. No, dude.
Like, just getting in a car, you're going to get more of a suntan
dude, my
than that.
one arm is, like, darker than... This is my, like, arm I always lean out the car window, and it's, like, darker than any part. Just this one little spot right here.
So you kind of brought this up earlier. The members
Anal
only...
sex.
Yeah, we're going to move. I'm going to move right past that.
I like that he was like, butt fuck. He said it all. It's like, you can't say butt fuck in like a straight word or like a straight non-accent because you sound like a fucking serial killer.
So you brought up the members only jacket. I felt like that was a little too prop comedy for me. It was kind of Carrot Top-ish in a way.
Well, he said he did that one special with like a hoodie with one string pulled all the way down the whole time, and people were just like, I can't watch this.
And also, so the screaming thing too. My buddy Brian Dow's a big stand-up guy, and I went to it wasn't an open mic, it was like a contest or whatever, to where the crowd voted on the stand-ups that played that night. The top 3 moved on to the next week until they had one champion or whatever. And there was a comedian that night. There were some really great guys who did really good stuff, and then one of the last ones was this guy that literally did nothing but scream for 6 minutes or 7 minutes, whatever his time was. He would set something up, and then his punchline was always, and then she goes, wah, 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 and run around the stage like.
Oh my god.
So I'm not I don't know if that.
Like Landslide. Did you ever see that episode of It's Always Sunny? when they made Dee believe that she was like a professional comedian.
Oh yeah.
And they hired Laverne Crawford to be Landslide, and like that every time he would do a joke, he was like Landslide. Like that was his punchline.
So I felt like it was kind of a lot of that. Like he was constantly just kind of screaming a lot and relying on. I don't know if it's necessarily physical comedy, but it kind of annoyed me. And this happened in both specials as well, to varying degrees of annoying me. They both laughed at their own jokes a lot. And I started thinking about it, and I guess a lot of comedians do that, but like he was belly.
Yeah, he was.
Rory was belly laughing at his own jokes.
Yeah, Patrice's were
Rory
really funny. He was shoveling up
the laughs.
While we have a quick second, I'm going to address something real quick. The two mics, while you're hearing straight audio, is because you're hearing it from a camera. The two mics are for an audio recording that's going to go out later at a different website. I'm sorry if you're not hearing great, super quality audio from great mics. We didn't get robbed. But go ahead. Yeah.
I guess I don't know. I don't think I could.
I didn't get robbed.
Like
I paid
our setup.
fucking $40 for that camera, and it sounds all right. I've heard the audio.
Yeah, this is like a...
it wouldn't sound like you'd think this would sound like, because you're like, wait a minute, I see two professional mics and just regular audio.
Right. Well, semi-professional mics. I don't know that these are professional mics anyway, but yeah. If
dude,
people
them look
are watching,
fucking professional. It says
MXL?
Yeah, dude, that's like letters from Roman times and shit.
Yeah, these are like $100 a piece. I mean, they're not cheap, but they're not... Microphones can get silly, like thousands of dollars for microphones, and I don't know that I could necessarily tell the difference. I don't know that anybody could tell the difference unless they're listening on super high quality speakers. But anyway, so that's JMO's answering a question from the simulcast. Once again, these are on PlayStation 4 Live.
Yeah, this is the comment section. I took it off today, but I kept seeing it pop up, so I'm like, what's Clint talking about? But it's not Clint, so... We have a new guy.
Another guy? Well, he's gone after shitting on the mic.
Yeah, he has all seven comments are him. And to answer your question, what this is a stand-up kind of podcast where we talk about one new and one old stand-up special and something else.
We talk about a lot of different things.
Well, that was the something else was the Game of Thrones.
Right. Yeah, the stand-up. We kind of deep dive on stand-up specials. We're talking today about, again, Rory Scovel. So yeah, lots of screaming,
lots of members only jackets, lots of anal sex and butt fucking. He did a lot of fourth wall breaks
where he talked to the camera.
Well, yeah, like where he kind of stopped and was like, "Oh, we'll be right back," right. like stuff like that. It was kind of funny, but then kind of.
Yeah, I don't know if my head just wasn't in the right spot when I watched this.
The first time I watched it, when it first came out, when I recommended it, I was sitting here cracking up. Last night when I watched it, I wasn't really laughing very much, and I was finishing up watching it again when you got here, and I was kind of hit or miss on some of the jokes. So I don't know if maybe my mood wasn't right either, but the first time I watched it, I thought it was really good because I was trying to finish out my notes for it.
I mean, there was definitely I don't ever want to shit on anybody who does that art form, because it takes balls to get up on a stage by yourself with a mic and say, "Hey, I'm going to be funny."
Yeah.
That's a ballsy move as an artist.
And it was funny, man. There was a lot of times where I was sitting there fucking laughing.
I like the frisbee bit.
That's what I wrote down there. You can't fucking throw a frisbee, and he says as soon as he throws it, he's like, "Sorry." As soon as he throws it, that shit was funny, dude. Because everybody's had that, and then he's talking about the guy that's doing the angel wing poses, and he's like, "What are you ladies doing tonight?" That's right. That's what you're doing.
I felt like he lingered on a lot of jokes a little bit too long, and it seemed like his structure was always the biggest laugh was up front in a bit, and then it was a series of little jabs after that. Rather than setting you up for the big uppercut, it was big laugh and then little, dot after.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I said, I don't want to shit on these guys because of, obviously I couldn't do it. I can barely talk in front of 3 people, much less on a stage in front of people that's going to be filmed and put out for the entire potentially world to see. So, but it wasn't my favorite for sure. I think it's interesting to compare it back to another one that we talked to, the Hassan Minaj thing. I think we're kind of in different. Like you hated Hassan Minaj, you like this one. I kind of feel like I'm the exact opposite. Like I liked the Hassan Minaj one, and I didn't hate this one, but I definitely didn't laugh a whole lot.
No. How many times when you do you watch it?
I try to just watch it once because I don't want to.
Okay. See, I'm a multiple viewer.
Yeah.
You know, to kind of get the subtle nuances.
Well,
even that Hamashnan, I watched it twice. I didn't want to, but I did. I did.
Yeah,
just so I could make sure that I didn't miss anything, and I didn't. Because there's sometimes where I'm just in a different fucking like mood and shit.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I try to look at it objectively.
I always try to like either like take a big puff and shit and get ready, you know, mentally.
So let's move on to Patrice O'Neal. Elephant in the Room was released in 2011. Interesting that the TV version was 42 minutes, but there is a full-length DVD that is 77 minutes.
Now, which I really want to get that one.
Now
I don't have that.
I assume that they cut a lot of fat out, and we probably got the best bits in the TV version. But
well, you probably got the stuff that was also that was censored cut out too. The really shit that he probably wanted to like.
Get a little more raw on.
Yeah.
To quote one of his...
Man, it was funny though, dude. Like I can watch that special at least once or twice a week and be fine watching it. I like Patrice O'Neal. It's sad to me that his first real big special was a Comedy Central special where they chopped it up into fucking 40 minutes, and then shortly after that, a couple of years later, he died, you know, from diabetes and shit, and he never really got to do another special like that was video. You know, there's a lot of audio like albums of his, but that video form, you know, is where you can reach a more mass audience nowadays. You know what I mean? A lot of people will listen to stuff that are really your fans. You know what I mean? A lot of people won't go out of their way to listen to stuff if they're not into you.
I think for the last
decade, want to just watch it. You know what I mean? Because it's like, oh, it's like I read a book when I could watch the fucking movie.
I mean, comedy albums back in the day were a huge
big.
deal. Like
they were
Richard
big.
Pryor,
dude, that's
Carlin,
where I heard my
Eddie
first
Murphy.
Carlin was a fucking 8-track.
Yeah, my dad had Class Clown on vinyl, and that was one of the first.
That's a good one.
One of the first stand-up experiences I remember having is listening to that. But yeah, I think in the past 10 years, most people are coming to stand-up through either the
Comedy Central
specials and now Netflix. And even before that, HBO. It's weird that stand-up would be something that people want to watch because there's not always a lot to see.
No, it's someone usually just standing up on stage
with a microphone,
talking.
Yeah. So
like it's you want to. It's basically here. You're going to listen to my point of view for an hour.
Right. So kind of two things that I talked about with the Rory Scovel that turned me off. Patrice O'Neal did the same thing. He laughed at a lot of his own jokes, and he kind of screamed a lot too. I wrote down high energy versus lots of screaming, like the difference between the two. And I'll say this: I don't know if I came into this in a different space because Bill Burr is one of my favorite stand-ups, and he's such a champion of Patrice's.
Oh yeah, man, they were great friends.
And they do the benefit every year, and there's a clip of Bill Burr on Conan where he and Bill Burr's like, you know, Macho Man's guy, and he got kind of teared up and choked up.
Yeah, they were really good friends, man.
So I don't know if I came into this in a better space because I respect Bill Burr so much and he thinks so highly of him or what. But it did kind of bug me that there was lots of screaming. Like I said, going back to the local comedian that I saw that did it, it just seems, I don't know if I want to say hacky because Patrice O'Neal, the one thing I got from just this 42 minutes that I saw, not even the whole special, was that this guy was a professional. He controlled the room. He grabbed the audience. When he talked to someone, the entire crowd was pulled in. It wasn't like a lot of crowd work where it's kind of a lot, because crowd work can be kind of hacky,
dude,
if it's not done well. But Patrice is feels like the king of it, kind of.
Man, well, if you want to talk about the king of crowd work, not to go off subject, Todd Barry has a special on Netflix called
Sidetracks,
the Crowd Work Tour. So I mean, we might talk about that one day and then get into real crowd working. I did write down that his crowd work was really good. Like he does know how to control a room. I love listening to Patrice O'Neal. I started listening to him and watching him on the old Comedy Central watching Shorties, where they took like two babies. One was Patrice O'Neal, and I can't remember who the other one was, but like they were basically just watching little things on TV, like 5, maybe like 2-3 minute clips of people doing stand up that was animated. You know what I mean? Like they animated the bit.
Oh, okay, I see.
And it was pretty cool because you got to see all these different comedians in different bits and stuff, and they had a bunch of their own bits on there and stuff. And he was really good, man. Like I was talking about how he can't type or spell restaurant. And it's like if someone put a gun to my mom's head, it was like, I'm gonna kill your mom if you don't spell restaurant. He's like, Mom, I love you. You know, I just want you to know that everything you've done for me. Like, you know, motherfucker, quit stalling. You know.
So also, I forgot to do this. I like putting things in the context of their time that they were released. So some other things in the comedy world that was going on in 2011. Louis C.K.'s Hilarious came out. Patton Oswalt's Finest Hour also came out.
That's a good special.
Rory Chauvel's Dilation. Pete Holmes, Impregnated with Wonder. This was, he
has done stand-up before.
Lying motherfucker.
This son of a bitch. I knew he did it, but I don't know if you've ever had a legit special before. Maybe.
Pete Holmes, Impregnated with Wonder. Tig Notaro, is that how you pronounce it? Tig Notaro, good one. Daniel Tosh, Happy Thoughts, and Donald Glover's Weirdo, which I watched it. Yeah, I mean it's cool that he did it.
It's not very funny.
Yeah,
it's some of the things are funny, some things aren't very.
It's not really his world. I mean, that's not really what he does.
He's a great writer.
Yeah, for sure. You still haven't watched Atlanta, have you?
No, I have not watched
Atlanta. Atlanta's so fucking good, man. So good. I can't highly recommend that one enough. It kind of sucks that it's going to be delayed because of this Han Solo thing, which, not to get sidetracked again.
Fucking.
But
dude, Star Wars trumps everything, bro.
But what do you think about you heard that the Han Solo movie, the director
got fired.
And that was the two guys from the Lego movie.
Yeah,
and
they got fired.
The guys
were they in the Lego movie?
Yeah, the Phil Miller or whatever their names are.
I could have swore that the first one was
Lord
done,
and Miller.
Or maybe I thought the first one was done by the dudes from Lonely Island.
The first Han Solo?
No, the Lego movie.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, it's
I know they had something to do with it. Maybe it was the soundtrack or something.
Maybe they did some songs. I don't know, but I mean, I'm 99% sure. And they also did Last Man on Earth, which I don't think you watched that.
No, but I know who that is, and I probably would watch it one of these days because it's got what's his name in it. It was
Will Forte. Yeah, he's great in everything.
MacGruber.
But yeah, so they fired the director. I forget, or no, it's Ron Howard.
Fucking Ron Howard. That's what I was about to say, dude. Hey, you can't go wrong with that.
I guess not, man. That's a big deal though to get fired off the Han Solo movie.
Dude, did you see Super 8? I thought that was pretty good. Did he do it?
No, that was the guy who directed the first Star Wars reboot.
Oh yeah.
J.J. Abrams.
J.J. Dirty J.
Yeah, no,
yeah, that was good though. So I mean, I like the first new Star Wars, but it was basically a rehash of fucking New Hope.
Yeah, I'm excited for the newest one.
I'm hoping this is a rehash of Empire because that's my favorite fucking Star Wars.
No, I hope they kind of go off on their own here and start telling their own story. I kind of get why they did that with the Force Awakens, but.
Oh yeah, because it was like, let's just take the best part. But it's shitty that they had J.J. Abrams who could do a great fucking movie. They basically like, here, like I don't know if they told him like, hey, or he wrote that. Because if he wrote that, it's like you could do better, bro. Yeah. If they gave it to him, they could do better, and you went with it.
There's a great documentary to be made about the sale of Lucasfilm to Disney and how things went down with that and the thought process behind these things. It kind of sucks that we won't get a Star Wars film that's kind of dark and adult oriented because it's now a Disney thing.
They showed that you can make money off of it with Deadpool and with Logan. And them are both Marvel and Disney owned. So what you gotta do is just give us the fucking Darth Vader movie we want.
Well, I feel like what Darth Vader movie would that be?
Him cutting down the little kids, him like fucking choking prostitutes, doing whatever he's got to fucking do. I don't care if he like runs motherfuckers through. Just that little part at the end of fucking Rogue One where he was cutting people down. Dude, you could have went like balls wall. They could show some blood, you know what I mean? I know that like it sears you shut, but fuck it, you know, maybe he just like crushes you and shit.
Dude, go balls wall. Why can't you just go balls wall?
That's my new shit.
So that was a huge sidetrack we just took there from Patrice O'Neal.
Oh yeah,
to Star Wars. But yeah, talking about Donald Glover being in the new Han Solo movie.
He's paralyzed. That shit was funny when he was talking about the Pee Wee football.
And we're back on Patrice O'Neal now.
Bam! Back to the track.
Boom.
I mean, it's up there. It says Sidetracks. If they don't get it by now, I don't know what's
Dude,
up.
you got a bong in your hand. I don't think people come to this expecting you to stay on message.
I mean, I try to.
You're like the Donald Trump of podcasting.
Well, I'm not that fucking orange, dude.
So what are your thoughts on this Patrice O'Neal thing? Wrap it up for me, without quoting things he said or whatever. What are your thoughts on? Sad that he's gone for sure. He
it
had
is
so
sad
much
that he's
more
gone.
to give.
Yeah. Like one of the last things that he did before he died was the roast of somebody. They've done something I can't remember, but like.
See, this is where research would do you.
Yeah, but it's still like I feel like the message is better. Like he was on there and he was so funny, man, and like I really felt like he was just probably about to get in and probably do another special and release some better shit. Like I always feel like people just get like. Especially the comedians that I like to watch them progress and keep going. That's one of the things I like about Louis is that he put out so much shit, and you can just keep watching stuff and you can see the progression. Whether it's like not always as great as the last one, it's still different and better and good in its own right. And that's kind of how I feel about Patrice. Everything that I've ever seen from his, because I've got a couple of his Comedy Central specials too. There was like half-hour ones from back in the day when they did that a lot and shit. And everything I've seen from him is just showing him progressively getting better. And like you said, he was a professional comedian. He knew how to control the room. He got right in there, and he's like, thank you everybody coming. He's like, I'm thinking one specific set of titties, not to quote it, but he's just right there. He took the control right there. Everybody's fucking cracking up laughing. Even when he was trying to kind of making him uncomfortable about asking him if he went in Raw and shit. Like even there, he's just like, dude's laughing and shit. She's laughing. It's uncomfortable funny, and like that's good. I like that.
Yeah. So, two really good specials here. I did like the Rory Scovel special better than I'm probably letting on. Like I said, I think I just wasn't in the right headspace for it. But the Patrice O'Neal, just amazed by the craftsmanship of it more than even the jokes. I mean, it was funny. He did a great job writing it, and they were good bits. But
see, I wish
just the level of competence that he has at his craft is pretty staggering.
I wish I could have had the 77-minute one to give you instead of the.
Have you seen it?
No, I haven't. I've heard the audio, but I haven't seen it. So I'd like to get it. There is a stand-up audio of one of his last ones before he died. That is like I've heard a bunch of bits off of it, and it's really funny. So definitely go out and check on iTunes for any of the stuff, man. Definitely buy it. It's funny.
Yeah, maybe. So a website's coming for Sidetracks with Rusty Pate. I'm trying to hash that out. It's taking a little longer than I expect, but.
And whenever this does go up, audio link, I will link a
audio on the YouTube.
Mm-hmm. I'll give you guys a link to the link.
And there is
just click it and go listen to the audio if you want and hear that super quality audio.
So Sidetracks with Rusty Pate will have a website. It has a Facebook page if you want to subscribe to that to keep up on new things coming out.
We do, or are you going to have it?
I've started that. I don't have a whole lot of content on there, but.
You should make me
it's up.
You should make me a moderator.
You could search for Sidetracks with Rusty Pate, and it's up there. I haven't put it out. This will be the first that it's been publicized, but I haven't even invited anybody to be on it.
Apparently, I didn't even know about it. I'm on the show quite regularly.
Yeah, I mean, like I said,
more than most people. I'm a third of your guests.
Well, right now you're half of my cast or half the guests. So there's been
But
another
you've done
one.
4 episodes, and I'm 3 of the guests.
Yeah. So you're 3/4
Yeah.
of the episodes thus far.
Mm-hmm.
Really, if you count the one that wasn't aired, you're 4/5.
Yeah, dude, I'm in there. Like, we have to get that shitty ass audio and just release it somewhere.
Don't burn it.
No. Special, like, Christmas edition. You guys get the first episode.
Actually, it's kind of nice because we don't hear your fucking blowtorch sparking up nearly as loud as in the past few.
You wouldn't hear it in this one much at all.
Well, yeah, because you don't have any.
Sucks. I just got weed this time. It's good, though. Good weed.
Thought you had graduated from that. I thought you were straight dabs forever guy.
Shit happens sometimes. So I'm just gotta
go with what you can get, right?
There you go.
Kind of like pussy. But
Yeah. Exactly. Sometimes just go with the flow.
J-Mo goes with what he gets in all areas of life. All right, man. So that.
So you're gonna play the Destiny? You want to get into some other stuff, or what time are we?
Yeah, we're at about 49 minutes right now.
We wrapped this one up. We didn't get as sidetracked as we usually get.
No, we did. I mean, we veered off topic pretty heavily. Like, we got into Han Solo from Patrice O'Neal, so that's a pretty big right turn.
You know who else got into Han Solo? Kylo Ren. Boom!
Those are some of my favorite memes. Is that Han Solo tells a dad joke to Kylo
Yeah,
Ren and then gets
like,
stabbed.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of them recently. They're really funny.
So J-Mo and I are both big Destiny video game people. The beta is going to drop this week. I'm going to try to get this up on Wednesday of this week. We're recording this on a Monday.
The beta for people that pre-ordered comes out tomorrow.
And then it's up for everybody on Wednesday or Thursday?
So 21st, whatever day that would be.
That would be 21st is Friday. Because there's a new Chris Robinson Brotherhood album coming out on Friday. That's pretty excited about. So have you seen anything from these from what you're going to be able to play? Are you excited for it? What are you going to be playing the most? I think you get 2 Crucible playlists, you get 1 story mission, and you get 1 strike, right?
Yeah, I'm just going to check it out because, I'm not going to try to get too into it so when, like, the game comes out, I'm burnt out of it. Yeah. Plus, I got some stuff coming up, like I picked up tickets to go see Sublime with Rome Friday at the Lawrenceburg Event Center.
Nice.
So that's going to be sweet. So look out on my YouTube channel for me trying to live stream that. Trying to figure out how to do that with my phone. So, because I don't know, I've never been there to that event center. It's in the Hollywood Casino. So pumped for that. Fucking Sublime with Rome. I just saw Avenged Sevenfold and Volbeat. And Avenged Sevenfold was good, but fucking Volbeat. Holy fucking shit. They are so good live. If you want to go see a rock band that fucking sounds just like they do on like the radio and their albums, go see fucking Volbeat. That dude's fucking voice is on point whole way through the fucking show. Like, a lot of bands don't sound as fucking, I don't know, they just don't sound as powerful, you know what I mean? Like, they don't have that power that they have from that production when they make a CD and shit. But these dudes were fucking on point. They were good.
Yeah. I haven't been to I think we just went to a concert. We saw Jason Isbell. Just to contrast how different our music things are. Like, we just saw Jason Isbell. We're going to see, I haven't gotten the tickets for Fleet Foxes yet, but we're going to go see Fleet Foxes, I think, in Detroit. Which I'm not too hyped about because I've been to Detroit for a couple shows and had some weird experiences in Detroit. Not the best place to go see a concert, but
not really. It's not the best place to go anywhere.
I mean, unless you're just a fanatic of burn down buildings and abandoned fucking neighborhoods. And
fuck that.
If I was a billionaire, though, I'd be buying up property in Detroit left and right because eventually cities bounce back, and you take that property for $50,000 and you turn it into that's how people make money. Is
you know what's coming in Detroit, right? RoboCop. All right. The city of Detroit was run down. It was bought by Omnicorp. Omnicorp makes RoboCop. RoboCop cleans up the street. Boom. Bam. RoboCop's coming soon. For real.
For real.
In Detroit. Because Detroit's already run down. We just need some big corporation to come up. We need the cop to get almost killed to where we can put his brain into a partial robot. And where he's got a gun in his hip. That'd be badass, dude. RoboCop.
So yeah, for anybody that's listening to this, subscribe on Facebook, Sidetracks with Rusty Pate. The website's coming soon. It's kind of up there already, but things are not finalized on it. I'm not by any means a coder, and it's taken me a little time to even put up the most rudimentary website and have it be something that I'm proud of. But sidetrackswithrustypate.com is coming. We're going to get an Instagram and Twitter and all that other stuff that you got to have when you do something like this.
Ooh, a picture.
Well, hey man, you got to have it, right?
Yeah, I mean, might as well have like a Snapchat or something too.
No, I won't do. I refuse to do Snapchat.
Good for you. Good for you. And if you want to subscribe to me, you can go to YouTube, and it's Chef Jaw. You look for a little guy with a little Rastafarian hat on, sunglasses, and I think it's Chef Jaw 420 on Instagram.
CHEFJA. Chef Jaw.
I can actually do something for you guys if you want to see it. You go to my YouTube channel and see that little picture right there, and that's how you that's what it will be.
All right, man. So another episode in the books. I want to thank everybody for joining us. Thank everybody from JMO's live stream on PlayStation 4. Anybody that's watching on YouTube, please subscribe to all our stuff. Thanks, man.
No problem, man. I'm glad we can do this. We'll see you guys next time.
Peace.